Same question. I think we discussed up to question number 10, right? Is it visible now? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Up to where we will discuss in the last class? Up to 9.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the 10th question. The voltage across a resistor R, an inductor L, and a capacitor C is 5 volt, 10 volt, and 10 volt respectively. If the circuit is in resonance, the applied voltage is 5 volt, 10 volt, 15 volt, and 20 volt. The voltage across a resistor R, an inductor L, and capacitor C is 5 volt, 10 volt, 10 volt respectively. And here the circuit is under resonance condition. So what about the applied voltage? VR, voltage across resistor is 5 volt, voltage across capacitor is 10 volt, voltage across inductor is also 10 volt. We can calculate the applied voltage to this circuit. Here the condition is the circuit is under resonance. So we can say VL is equal to VC or Chi L is equal to Chi C. Then what is the equation for calculating the applied voltage to an LCR circuit? What is the equation? For an LCR circuit, applied voltage V is equal to root of VR square plus VL minus VC the whole square. We study one equation like this. But here we know that VL is equal to VC is equal to 10 volt, which implies VL minus VC is equal to 0. 10 minus 10 is equal to 0. Therefore, applied voltage V is equal to root of VR square, that is 5 square. Root 25 is equal to 5 volt. It's a direct question. So here we are considering an LCR circuit and the voltage across the resistor. In LCR circuit, the resistor, inductor and capacitor all are connected in series. Voltage through the resistor R is given, it is 5 volt. Voltage through the inductor is 10 volt. Voltage through capacitor is also 10 volt. But here the inductor and capacitor, they are equal because they are under resonance condition. We know that Chi L is equal to Chi C. So here the voltage that through this inductor and that of the capacitor is equal 10 volts. So 10 minus 10 is equal to 0. Therefore, the voltage through the circuit become root of 5 square, root 25, that is equal to 5 volt. Okay. Then the next question. Is there any doubt regarding with this? Okay. 11th one. So the correct option is option A, 5 volt. For the 10th question, correct answer is 5 volt. Next question, a current given by I is equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2 flows across an AC circuit under a potential difference of V is equal to Vm sin omega t. The power consumed by the circuit is Im Vm by 2, Im Vm by root 2, 0, root 2 into Im Vm. So here we consider an AC circuit. The current through the AC circuit is given by I is equal to Im sin omega t. Current I is equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. And voltage through this AC circuit is given by V is equal to Vm sin omega t. Then the power consumed by the circuit, that is what about the power factor. So from these two conditions, students, what do you think? Does they are in same phase? They are in phase? No, they are not in same phase because the current is I is equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2 and voltage V is equal to Vm sin omega t. So here there will be a phase difference of pi by 2. Okay, they are out of phase by pi by 2. What is pi by 2? Pi by 2 is nothing, 180 by 2, that is equal to 90 degree. So here both current and voltage are out of phase by 90 degree. The phase angle or phase difference between them, phi is equal to 90 degree. Then what will be the power factor or power consumed by the circuit? That is cos phi, cos 90. What is cos 90? Power factor of an AC circuit is given by cos phi. Cos 90. Cos 90 is equal to
0.
0. So which is the correct option? Option C.
Ma'am,
If S,
why are we doing these many steps?
yeah, we can directly convert. I'm just explain why it is become 0 degree. We can
Ma'am,
direct.
we have studied that an average power in an inductor is 0.
Ah, yes, we can do. I am just explaining this. Or you can write in the case of inductor or also in the case of capacitor, the average power is equal to 0. So the answer is 0. And actually the exact reason is here the current and that of the voltage are out of phase by 90 degree. So the power consumed by the circuit is cos 90, that is equal to 0. Now the 12th question. A 40 microfarad capacitor is connected to a 200 volt 50 hertz AC supply. The RMS value of the current in the circuit is 2.05, 2.5, 25.1, 1.7 ampere. A 40 microfarad capacitor is connected to 200 volt 50 hertz AC supply. Then what about the RMS value of the current? Here the capacitance value is given. C is equal to 40 microfarad. That is equal to how many farad? 40 microfarad is equal to?
10 to 10 raised to negative 6.
Yeah, 40 into 10 raised to negative 6 farad. And what is this 200 volt?
VRM.
VRMS. VRMS is equal to 200 volt. 50 hertz is the frequency. F is equal to 50 hertz. Then what is the RMS value of the current? So here the given circuit is a AC voltage through capacitor. How we can find out the RMS value of current? IRMS is equal to VRMS by chi C. Here we are applying AC voltage through capacitor. So instead of resistor, here we need to consider the capacitive reactance chi C. What is chi C? Chi C is equal to
1 by C omega.
1 by C omega. But here the value of omega is not given. So we can take 1 by C into 2 pi F. That is chi C is equal to 1 by C is 40 into 10 raised to minus 6 into 2 into 3.14 into frequency is 50. Okay. So here chi C is equal to 1 divided by 40 into 10 raised to minus 6 into 2 into 3.14 into 50. And equation for calculating IRMS is VRMS divided by chi C. So it becomes IRMS is equal to VRMS is 220, right? Is it is 220 or 200?
100.
200. So VRMS is 200. 200 divided by chi C is 1 by 40 into 10 raised to minus 6 into 2 into 3.14 into 50. So it becomes, we can take the reciprocal. So it is 2 into 40 into 10 raised to minus 6 into 2 into 3.14 into 50. So IRMS is equal to 200 into 4 into 10 raised to minus 6 into 2 into 3.14 into 50. Sorry, here not 4, 40. Then it becomes it becomes is it is 8 into 0.314.
Yes, ma'am.
So what will be the final answer?
Two 2.51.
Yeah, 2.512, something like that. Here it is current, so 2.512 ampere. So what about our options? Which is the correct option? A, B, C or D? Here there is no option like that. Yeah. Option B, 2.5 ampere. They just skip the remaining digits, so it becomes 2.5 ampere. Option B, 2.5 ampere. Now the last question. The potential difference across a resistor, a capacitor, and an inductor in an LCR circuit are respectively 80 volt, 40 volt, and 100 volt. The power factor of this circuit is 0.8, 0.5, 0.4, or 1. potential difference across resistor, capacitor, and inductor in an LCR circuit is respectively 80 volt, 40 volt, and 100 volt. Then what about the power factor of this circuit? Any idea? How to calculate the power factor in this case? Here they are given the potential difference across resistor, inductor, and capacitor. That is potential difference or potential along the resistor. VR is equal to 80 volt. Potential difference across capacitor is 40 volt. VC is equal to 40 volt. Across inductor is 100 volt. VL is equal to 100 volt. Then how we can find out the power factor? We are studying one equation. I don't know whether I give this equation to you because this comes under the deleted portion. I think so. Power factor is equal to, we just check whether I give this equation or not. Power factor is equal to VR divided by the net voltage of the circuit. That is equal to VR divided by root of net voltage, mean we need to consider the potential difference through the entire components. That is VR square plus VL minus VC the whole square. Power factor. I don't know I give this equation or not. Anyway, you just note it. Power factor is equal to VR divided by the net voltage of the circuit. That is, power factor is equal to VR divided by root of VR square plus VL minus VC the whole square. So it becomes power factor is equal to VR is 80 divided by root of VR square. That is 80 square plus VL minus VC the whole square. What is VL? Value of VL? Yes, VL is? What about the value of VL?
100.
100. Okay, VL is equal to 100. And what about VC?
40.
40. So it becomes 100 minus 40 the whole square. That is equal to 80 divided by root of 80 square, 6400 100 minus 40. Yes. Then I just check whether it is right or wrong. 80 divided by root of 6,400 plus VL minus VC the whole square, that is equal to 60 square. 60 square means 36. 3,600. 80 divided by root of 6,400 plus 3,600. That is equal to 80 divided by 10 and 4 zeros, right? Square root of 10, 3 zeros. 10,000. Square root of 10,000 is 100. So it becomes 80 divided by 100. That is equal to 8 by 10. 0.8. Is there any option like that? Yes. Potential difference across a resistor, capacitor, inductor and LC circuit is respectively 80 volt, 40 volt and 100 volt. Power factor of the circuit is 0.8. So here we have one more equation for this calculating power factor. Did I give this equation to you? At least yes or no? Power factor is equal to
you
VR
R
divided
by
by S.
Ma'am, you had given R by Z.
It is given as
R by Z you had given earlier.
power factor cos phi is equal to R by Z, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, instead of this potential difference through resistance VR and V net, we consider it as R by Z, resistance divided by impedance. So power factor is equal to VR divided by root of VR square plus VL minus VC the whole square. So because here they are providing the potential, potential difference through these components, resistance, capacitor and inductor. So power factor, we can write power factor is equal to VR, voltage through resistor divided by voltage through this entire components, root of VR square plus VL minus VC the whole square. Then we just substitute the value. The voltage or potential difference to the resistor is 80, and then 80 divided by root of 80 square plus 100 minus 40 the whole square. So it becomes 80 divided by root of 6,400 plus 100 minus 40 is 60. 60 square is 3,600. That is equal to 80 divided by root of 10,000. 80 by 100. We can cut the two zeros. It becomes 8 by 10. 0.8. It's right. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, here the answer is given 0.8. So this is the step. Okay, now next set. I will zoom it. I think it is better. Is it clear or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The core or a transformer is laminated to reduce flux leakage, hysteresis, eddy currents, copper loss. I think I take this topic in a hurry manner in the last class. Did you remember the transformer losses, the energy losses that occurs in a transformer? The core or a transformer is laminated to reduce flux leakage, hysteresis, eddy currents, and copper loss. So I think it is better to describe the topic once again. After that, we can discuss that questions. Okay. Energy losses that is occurs in transformer. The energy losses occurs in transformers. The first one is flux leakage. Flux leakage is mainly occurs to if you are considering primary coil and a secondary coil. Okay, the flux leakage is mainly occurs during the case of mutual induction. In such cases, we consider two coils, primary coil and secondary coil. And if there is any gap between the primary coil and secondary coil, because of which what happens, the change of flux associated with the primary coil is not get completely transferred to that of the secondary coil. So this type of loss, energy loss is known as flux leakage. So flux leakage is occurs during mutual induction processes. If you are considering the two coils, primary coil and secondary coil, we know that if there is any gap between the primary coil and secondary coil, the flux, change in flux occurs in the primary coil may not get transformed into that of the secondary coil. So this loss is known as flux leakage. In order to reduce the flux leakage, we can use a method. Secondary coil can be wound over the primary coil. That is what is you can see in the case of a toroid. Okay. For example, in case of toroid, the transformer goes over a primary coil. Secondary coil is wounded about it. Over the primary coil, the secondary coil is wounded. As a result, there is no air gap between the primary coil and secondary coil. Okay, so this is one form of the energy loss that is occurs in transformers. It is flux leakage. And flux leakage is mainly occurs during the process of mutual induction where we are using two coils, primary coil and secondary coil. If there is any gap between the primary coil and secondary coil, the magnetic flux associated with the primary coil may not be transferred into that of the secondary coil. Can I change the slide? Yesterday I sent the notes of the alternating current, so you can find the similar points. The same thing is there. Hello, mic testing. Can I change the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Next one is eddy currents. We are familiar with this eddy currents. Do you remember this topic, eddy currents, from the last portion, electromagnetic induction? What do you mean by eddy currents? What about the shape of eddy current?
Eddies of water.
Yes, it is similar to that of the eddies of water, ripples of water. Okay. And whenever we discuss that topic, eddy currents, we study some losses caused by eddy currents. The energy is lost in the form of heat. So in such cases also, we are adopt some measures in order to overcome the energy loss. So the soft iron core also gets heated up because of magnetic flux. As a result, eddy currents are developed in the soft iron core. Core gets heated up because of eddy currents. This will harm the transformer core. So in order to prevent the energy loss in the form of heat, we can laminate the core can be used. Lamination method. Whenever we discuss this topic, we are discuss one method we can adopt to reduce energy loss due to eddy currents. The process of lamination. We are insulated or we are laminated the inner core of the transformers. Because of this insulated covering, eddy currents are not able to produce the heating effect. So if we are laminate the inner core, the energy will not be lost in the form of heat. So try to recollect or remember what all methods that we are used in order to overcome all these energy loss that is caused in the transformers. So in order to prevent this energy loss in the form of heat, lamination methods can be used. We can laminate the core, inner core of the transformers. Okay. The next one is hysteresis loss. Hysteresis.
Ma'am,
Yes.
eddy currents was in the previous chapter, right?
Ah, yes, it is from the previous chapter.
Okay.
But here, the energy loss is occurs in transformer due to this eddy currents in the form of heat. Okay. Energy loss is occurs. Actually, the mode of current that is developed in transformers are which nature? They are eddy currents nature. Okay, just like ripples of water, eddies of water. So, as a result of this eddy current, the energy loss occurs in the form of heat. So, in order to prevent that energy loss, we need to laminate the inner core. If we are laminate the inner core, thereby we can prevent the energy loss in the form of heat. The next energy loss that can be occur in transformers are hysteresis. Actually, this hysteresis is a term associated with that of the magnetic field, magnetic effect of electric current. Okay, hysteresis. And actually, the hysteresis is occurs or hysteresis loss is occurs mainly due to the current, the forward and backward flow of current. Whenever the current or the back and forth flow of current is occurs, magnetization and demagnetization of the permanent magnets are takes place. Okay, we know that we are connecting all these devices, especially the transformers. Transformers are not working DC; it is only operated in AC. So whenever the transformers is connected to AC voltage source, what is the nature of alternating current? The alternating current is changes its direction and magnitude at regular intervals. That is back and forth flow of the current is occurs. For a first half cycle, it maximum value of current. For the next half cycle, it is minimum value. Then for the next half cycle, it is again maximum. So it is changes its direction and magnitude in alternate intervals or back and forth value of the flow of the current is occurs. As a result, the magnets, the permanent magnets are get magnetized and demagnetized. This is what is known as hysteresis loss. And how we can reduce this hysteresis loss? For that, we are used or we are chose some materials which are not undergoing magnetization. So for that, we are mainly choose the soft iron core. Instead of permanent magnet, we are chose some soft iron core. We are used to put the soft iron core inside the coils. Instead of permanent magnet, we are chose the soft iron core because the hysteresis of the soft iron core is minimum. Okay. Then one more loss is there. Resistance of windings.
Ma'am,
Yes,
not completed right now.
it is not completed. Okay, 1 minute. Is it over, Achyut?
One more point.
Okay.
Okay. ma'am.
One more energy loss that is occurs in transformers. Resistance of windings. Resistance of windings. We know that whenever the resistance increases, one of the factor that is depends on the resistance is temperature. If the resistance increases, temperature is also increases. So here also the energy is lost in the form of heat. The wire used for the winding has some kind of resistance. If we are using the wire, it can be any type of wires. Whenever we are using these wires for windings, it poses some kind of resistance. So energy lost in the form of heat. Whenever the resistance increases, the energy loss will be also occurs in the form of heat. So in order to reduce that loss, if the area of cross section of the wire is increased, then the resistance will be reduced considerably. We can overcome this energy loss by increasing the area of the resistant wires. So the thick wires are used in the windings of primary and secondary coil. As a result, resistance will less. Whenever the resistance decreases, the temperature also will be decreases. Because temperature and resistance, they are directly proportional to each other. Resistance possessed by the wires that is used for winding of primary coil and secondary coil. If we consider any type of wires, it possesses some kind of resistance. Whenever the resistance increases, what happens? The temperature or heat produced by the circuit is also increases because they are directly proportional to each other. So we have only one method to reduce the value of resistance, that is increase the area of cross section or thickness of the wire, because area and resistance, they are inversely proportional to each other. Whenever the area increases, resistance decreases. So whenever we uses the thick wires, area of the wire increase, resistance decreases. Whenever the resistance decreases, thereby we can prevent energy loss in the form of heat. Achut, can I change the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So now try to answer this question. The core or a transformer is laminated to reduce flux leakage, hysteresis, eddy current, copper loss. No idea. It is due to eddy currents. The core or a transformer is laminated to reduce the eddy currents. Okay. Okay, it is 4:27. I think I sent these questions to the group. Try to answer it by yourself. Okay. And no, I am not saying